Welcome back to the If You Roll It, They Will Come podcast with me, your host, Spartan Kratos. And this episode I have for you guys today is a pretty fucking good one. And we're just going to hop right into it. So this all takes place back in the summer of 2020, back in July, early July of that summer. So this was just a particular night where me and all my high school friends were gonna get together and drink. And for them, I don't know if this was their first time. This is the first time we were all drinking together as a group. Like, we didn't really do that throughout high school, and this was right before we were going away for college. So this was like the first time we were ever doing that, and we were gonna all be doing it as a group. So on this particular day, we had Dante once again. He was there. We also had Matthew again, and we had another one of my friends. We're gonna call him Nolan. And Sean did end up coming. He just came a little later on this night. And this was the fine night of July 2nd. So on this fabulous night, I'm the one with tasked with getting alcohol. And to get the alcohol, I think I tried to enlist my mom, and then she was like, no, I'm not getting it for you. So then I just went to my manager at work because she was 21, so she could, and she did. So she got me some alcohol. What did we get this night? I think we just got a 12-pack of Claws and a bottle of Svedka and a bottle of Malibu. That's like all we got that night. So we go back. So I get that. And then at around 9 o'clock, I head over to my friend. And around 9 o'clock, I head over to Dante's house because his parents were out of town. So that's why we were all doing this, because like finally someone was out of town. We could get a house. Like, we could spend the night there. None of us had to worry about going home. It was perfect. So I roll over to Dante's house. I get everything in the fridge and freezer because I'm like getting the stuff cold. And we just start waiting. And then I want to say around like maybe 9:45-ish. I don't really know when we started drinking, but at some point, Matthew and Nolan roll up at around like 9, anywhere between 9 to 9:30. And then before we start drinking, though, I do remember this. Before we start drinking, we go roll over to Little Caesars down the street, pick up a fucking hot and ready pizza, and bring it back to the house so we can eat on that before we start. We were all hungry and we needed food, so like we were just like, okay, Little Caesars is right there, and that's like a place we usually went to a lot. We either went to Little Caesars all the time to eat or McDonald's because they were in the same shopping center, and Dante actually used to work at the McDonald's, so like we would always just go there. So after we get the pizza, we eat it, and then we just go back in the house, and then we decide to start drinking. So we each take a White Claw. We're all drinking that, and then we all take a shot together. And things are rolling good. I'm choking down this White Claw because here's the thing with me. I don't like carbonation. So I don't drink soda. I don't drink soda. So anything with a carbonation is really tough for me to get down. I don't know. I'm a bitch that way. So this White Claw I was drinking was hard to get down. Like, it was taking its time. So I was trying to take more shots. And then we also had like Hawaiian Punch, so we could make mixers. So I think we did make a few like mixed drinks here and there. But as the night's rolling on, I'm drinking more and more. I end up finishing like 2 of these White Claws. I think like 1.5. I'll say 1.5. It was not 2. It was not 2. It was more like 1.5 White Claws. Like, I was barely able to choke it down. And then, but at this point, I've had like a good amount of shots, like 7 or 8 shots I think. And this is rolling around like 10:30. And around so this is the whole time I was drinking. So I was drinking from like 9:45 to like 10:30, and then I stopped drinking basically. But then I decided to take 3 rips from my cart. I take 3 pretty big hits. Now I'm vibing. Like, this whole time I'm vibing. Like, they're just like slowly getting drunk, and I was pretty drunk already, and I was like, yeah, this is fucking fun, boys. This is like what we want. Like, we're listening to music, we're bopping, we're dancing around, we're singing. It's a good ass time, But as we continue to roll on and on and on, those hits from the cart start to hit me. And so we slowly make our way from the kitchen to the couch down in the living room. It's in like the same room basically, but you know how how it works. Like, the kitchen, dining room, living room, all in the same room. So we just walk over to his couch and just kind of lay down. Like, we're all just sitting down, laying down, talking, still listening to music, vibing. I was just looking through the videos too that I have from the night. I'm not going to play them because I don't want to show anyone's faces. But okay, at one point, So this was, I'm pretty sure, Nolan's first time getting drunk, and he was drunk off his ass because I was just scrolling through the videos, and he's just fucking laying down on the fucking floor at one point. He's just like, I don't know what he's saying. He's laughing his ass off, but he's just laying on the floor. There's just Dante's dog, like Dante's golden retriever, is just kind of standing next to him, and he's just on the floor, just fucking laying on his ass. So I got pretty drunk pretty fast because around 10:45, I was sending out the "I love you, bro" snaps. So yeah, that I was that drunk. Yep. I was at the the limit, as some might say. And yeah, there was a whole lot of, we were fucking singing a whole lot. I don't know what the fuck that was. Like every song, every video I have is us just singing the song that was on. But we all got pretty fucked up, pretty fucking drunk, because I can tell in those videos that we are all fucking like fucked up right now. We were all fucked up. And this is where I start to fucking feel it hit me. Because I'm sitting there on the couch and I'm like, oh shit, I am fucked right now. I am so fucked. I was just sitting there and I was like, oh, this is not good. And then I take a video, right? At 11 o'clock, I take a Snapchat video, and I'm like saying, oh, I'm so fucked up right now. And not even 5 minutes later, not even, probably like a minute, 2 minutes after that video, I'm in the bathroom yakking, because it just all hit me, and I was able to get up and make it to the bathroom. Right? Did I make it to the bathroom the first time? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I get up, I make it to the bathroom. I'm puking my guts out in there, and so I'm just like fucking keeling over the bathroom, and like my friends like come and check on me, and I'm like, just no, I'm just fucking, I'm in it for the long haul at this point, bro. Like it is gonna be a long night for me. So I'm in that bathroom for like an hour and a half, like just puking my guts out, just absolutely horrendous. And I was like, even after I was done puking, I couldn't really get up. I was just laying on the floor because I was so weak and just so fucked up. So at around like 12:30, I was like, okay, I kind of feel better. So I stand up, like wash my hands, and leave the bathroom and go and sit on the couch. And the guys were like, oh, hey, yeah. And then they give me some water, and I'm drinking some water. And not even after being out of the bathroom for like 3 minutes, I puke on the floor. I fucking puke on the floor. Here's the thing though about Dante's house. His house is all hardwood, but the one place I puked is where they have like a carpet over the hardwood, because like that's where they have the like the coffee table. So I puke on the corner on the edge of the carpet, and like it gets on there, and I'm like, oh shit. So then I sprint I'm like back in the bathroom immediately after that, because I'm like, oh nope, it's still coming up. And then I feel so bad though, because I'm just sitting there yakking my guts out, and then these guys are all having to deal with it. And by the time I came out, sometime between me going to the bathroom the first time and coming out, Sean had arrived at Dante's house, so he was now also here. But he wasn't drinking. He was the one sober person the entire night. So I was in the bathroom just puking my guts out once again, and those guys were fucking stuck dealing with the puke and the throw up and having to fucking try to clean it up, because like, Dante's parents didn't know we were over. We weren't really supposed to be over. We were just doing it because no parents were there. So like me throwing up there wasn't really the best thing, because it kind of fucks us, because that leaves behind evidence that we were there. Now we had to clean up that evidence. But anyway, back to me absolutely puking my guts out. So I'm still in that bathroom puking my guts out for at least another hour. Like I don't come out until like they started watching a movie, I think around like 11:30, and I didn't come, and when I came out the bathroom the second time, it was just finishing, I think. Maybe just finishing. It might have been like a second movie they were actually watching. I can't really remember. But they were watching movies. They were watching horror movies, surprisingly. None of them really liked them that much, but they were watching them this night. Just something I did note when I came out of the bathroom the second time. But when I came out of the bathroom the second time, like, I was like, there's nothing left to throw up. It is 2 a.m. There is nothing left to throw up. So I just kind of hobble back to the couch and sit down there like, hey, you good? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like sitting there. And then like within the next 20 minutes, I pass out. And like we all just kind of pass out very quickly. And this is the mistake I made. Because after puking and stuff, I never really got water back into my system. Like I drank a little bit of water, but not a whole lot, And that was a huge mistake, because not drinking water, when you're drunk and you don't drink water before going to bed, it's going to lead to terrible things in the morning. It's going to lead to a bad hangover. And so I wake up, and the next day I had plans. The next day I was driving all the way down from Sacramento to the Bay Area to see my best friend and spend a week there. So, and that's like a 2-hour drive. So I wake up around, I want to say 8 a.m. Like, we get up pretty early. And then we're like, okay, what do we do with the bottles? So I was like, okay, the claws, figure out, you guys, like, you keep them. I will take the 2 bottles. So I take the Malibu and the Svedka, and then I send it in my group chat to the Bay guy, to my friends in the Bay Area. I'm like, hey, yo, who wants this? And one of my friends responds. So I ended up giving him the bottles when I got there later that day, but I'll get to that. So so we're leaving his house. It's like 8 a.m. It's pretty early. I didn't get like that much sleep, you know. I go home and I'm just not feeling. When I get home and I'm like kind of sitting around, like I go to take a shower because I kind of need to. I'm just not feeling the greatest. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And like I go to see my mom because she knew I was drinking, and I was talking to her. I'm like, hey, what's up? And she was like, hey, and she was like, you hungover? And I'm like, no. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, yes. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty hungover. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And then I go take my shower. Right, I'm just like, still, what the fuck is going on? I'm pretty sure I was already packed, so all I really needed to do at that point was just leave. So like around 9:30, I decide, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head out, I'm gonna head out. Like, it's time to go. So I decide I'm starting to leave, and I'm telling you, I was pretty fucking hungover. Like, it was not good right now because I'm just fucking hungover and I have to drive 2 hours. So not even 30 minutes into the drive, I pull over at an exit, and like I'm sitting in my car for like 3 or 4 minutes, catching my breath, drinking some water, you know, trying to get my breath. I go again. Another 30 minutes later, I do the same thing. Another 30 minutes later, I do the same thing. But this time it was bad because I was around 45 minutes out of my friend's house. And then I pull over, and I'm not even kidding. I was in a neighborhood for like 10 to 15 minutes just sitting there because my headache was so bad. And like I almost threw up on myself. Like driving, I was like, oh, and then I caught it, and then I was like sitting back. That's why I pulled over there, because I was like, if I have to throw up, I want to get off the freeway. And I was like, okay, I don't have to throw up anymore. I just need to kind of like chill out for a second, like, and catch my breath. And it was bad. Like, you know how that, like, if you've ever been hungover like that, you know, like, hangovers can really just fucking do it to you. And I was fucking decided to drive because I'm a really smart human being. But I was able to make it to my friend's house. And when I make it to my friend's house, his mom's there. So that made it even worse because his mom was there, and like they got me a sandwich. Like, I'm really grateful for that. Like, they got me food, and I was like, I ate half of the sandwich, or I tried to eat half of the sandwich like while I was hungover, but it was like pretty bad because I was drinking water. And I told my friend, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm like hungover when I'm coming down. Like, I'm not feeling the greatest right now. He's like, okay, yeah, for sure. But like when I got to his house, I remember this very vividly. Like, they're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. So like we watched 2 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and like I got to his house around like maybe 12:30. I got there pretty late. Like, my parents even text me and be like, hey, are you there safe? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, what took you so long? I'm like, oh, I just hit some traffic, lying, like just completely lying on my ass. But so we watched like 2 episodes of Avatar, and it's like 1:30 at this point. And then his mom's like, okay, I'm gonna leave, nice seeing you again. And I'm like, bye. So she dips, and then I just go to hit. I just like, I need to lay down. I need to go take a nap, bro, because my fucking head is pounding. Like, for the last hour, I was just sitting there trying to not look like I was in extreme pain, even though I was. Like, this headache, this hangover got worse as I was just sitting there. So I go to his room, and then I was able to take a nap for a little bit, and then I felt great. Around 5 o'clock rolls around, I'm feeling fine. We go out, we hang out with some friends, we smoke or whatever, and then I give one of my other friends those 2 bottles, and I spend a whole week in the Bay Area. But the whole moral of the story is, don't get fucking hungover. Just, if you're gonna drink, just know your limits. Oh, and one more small little thing. Dante's parents did end up finding out about this, because a few months later after that, they were moving. And when they were moving, they had to roll up the carpet. And guess what was on the bottom of that carpet? my throw up stain, because my friends only clean the top of the carpet, because, why would you clean the bottom? Who's gonna look there? Oh wait, they're fucking moving. So yeah, they did end up finding out about it. They weren't that mad. I think they were a little mad, but they weren't like too mad about it, because it was after the, like, pretty far after the fact. But yeah, Dante did end up getting caught for it, and I just find that kind of fucking funny. But yeah, that was easily the sickest I've ever been from alcohol, and I still can't drink White Claws to this day. Anytime I drink a White Claw, I will like immediately gag. Like, I can't even drink like a sip of a White Claw without having a gag reflex. Like, that's how bad this night was. Like, I can still drink Malibu fine, I can drink Svedka fine, but my body was like, yeah, the fucking White Claws, you can't drink that anymore. That's what fucked you up this night. I'm like, okay, I guess it was. I guess the White Claws are what did it in for me, not, the 3 hits after I was already drunk off my ass, because weed before liquor. That's all I gotta say. You can smoke while you're drunk, but don't want to do it too much, because the effects will definitely hit you way harder and you will get sick way too easily. I know that way too often. But yeah, that is all for this episode, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.